Hello, true believers. This is Vendetta, and I'm gonna do this video really quick. Yesterday is Hero's first day of vacation. He finished his online classes yesterday, his first year at his new school. So I'm glad we got that out of the way. He's not a transferee anymore, so he's considered a regular now. So one of the things, so I might not be able to vlog as much, but I will do it as much as I can. And I promised that I was going to do this vlog about more the medical legal. But before we get to that, we'll look at the official court documents that I've already shown. Now, if you look back at my videos, I know I have a lot of videos, but if you look back, I have full details of all these documents that you see in front of you already. So if you want to look at them in detail, just go back and take a look at them. Maybe I'll put them on a playlist of these documents. But really quick, if you're not caught up, because I know every day there's new people watching this channel. So let's get to, remember, I was charged with several crimes, and the funny part is they're the same crime in 3 different places. I'll give you an example. Over here, I have one at the regional court in Calamba. So the Fourth Republic of the Philippines, Fourth Judicial Region Regional Court, Trial Court in Calamba. This case was based on the raid they did on my house. They did a search on my house with a search warrant. And this was whether the warrant was legal or illegal. That's left for another discussion. But the point I wanted to make is, number one, over here, we have a case over here in this regional trial court. Okay, and the reason is 9208. If you don't know what 9208 means, it means it's human trafficking. I repeat, human trafficking. So 9208. So commit that to memory. If you see 9208, that means human trafficking. I repeat, human trafficking, which doesn't, it's a crime so heinous, it requires the death penalty or life in prison with no possibility of parole or probation. So I repeat, this is serious offense over here. If there was a death penalty, you would get the death penalty if you're accused of this. Okay, so it's a serious crime with a serious punishment. It's also called, since there's no death penalty, reclusion perpetua. Number two is over here, we have one here at the Department of Justice. If you look over here, this is a different court. And this one is in Manila. Okay, the Department of Justice in Manila. And if you look over here, here's our complainants. You've got the PNP Regional Anti-Cybercrime Unit 4A. So to be specific, we're represented by officer in charge, Lieutenant Colonel Julius C. Suriben, and something Sergeant Eileen M. Calapatia, and something Cherry Azarcon. So they're the complainants, and they have a case against me, and they're in the main complainants over here. As you can see, 9208, human trafficking. I repeat, 9208. That's with the Department of Justice. And then the final piece over here, so that's number 2. And number 3 over here is this one is from the entrapment, the instigation. Okay, it's more instigation. So I'll probably do a video on instigation versus entrapment. Okay, so this is the third one. Okay, so this is in Tanaan City, Batangas. So we got 3 different places over here. We've got number one, it was in family court in Calamba City. That's number 1. Number 2 here, we got Department of Justice here in Manila. So we got Calamba City, we got one in Manila, and it's human trafficking also, 9208. And over here, we got one over here in Manila. If you look at it, 9208 also. And another one here, this one's from the entrapment. These two are, this one is from the raid. This one is from the raid and the entrapment. And this one is just from the entrapment. Okay, so if you're following along, if you got a flow sheet, there it is. Okay, so this is in black and white, and so nobody has to guess. Nobody will like, what the hell happened? I have here official court documents, so you don't have to guess. You don't have to assume. You don't have to make your innuendos. It's all here. in black and white. So if you want to know what happened, just keep watching. I've got lots of documents, okay? So I've been just out of prison for 6 months. So here we go. I'm giving you information. So this one is especially juicy because this one has not only 9208 human trafficking, 9208, it also has rape. So it says here rape, and also it has cybercrime. Okay, so 97. So I assume that's cybercrime. Okay, so this one from the entrapment, and the best part about this, or the worst part about this, was this is all over the local 2 news channels, ABS, CBN. It was all over the GMA network, and it's also all over CNN. So I think GMA and CNN are one. But the point is that all this accusations were displayed all over on news media, old media, new media, and on the internet. So you got all that. So to add insult to injury, so three different branches. All of them have human trafficking in it, but this one has rape. Rape, here we go. And all of you, of course, the first thing you're going to say, oh, I won on a technicality. I won because I paid them off. I won paid off the judge. Speaking of judge, this is we had to do what's called a motion of inhibition against the judge. And the reason why we had a motion for inhibition against the judge, here you go, here it is. Sorry about all the so I'm gonna get everybody caught up about the things that happened here. We have a motion here for inhibition. We're inhibiting the judge, and one of the reasons why is, take a look at based on this court documents over here. So here's the transcript. So this is there's many reasons why. Here's one of the reasons why. My attorney was at an actual case at another court, and he already submitted the paperwork saying, look, I have that same date I am appearing on another. This is my own private lawyer that I paid a lot of money for. This is the second one, by the way, not the first one. So the judge, so when you say court, it means judge. So the judge is speaking over here. So you could say court is speaking, the judge. So he said, okay, so your counsel is not here. Okay, so you also don't have a new counsel. So the court is now appointing the lawyer of the public attorney's office to act as your counsel for today's hearing. What do you say to that? This is me, the accused. I say, I decline it, Your Honor. I exercise my right to have private counsel. And the judge says, so you're refusing? And I said, yes, Your Honor. This is the judge talking to me. Judge, accused. Court, this is the funny part. It says, okay, court, okay, just to show you in record that the accused does not have his regular counsel, he hasn't secured a new counsel, and that he is refusing the services of the POW. Next point before the court is an urgent ex parte motion for resetting filed by the regular counsel for the accused. So my attorney did the proper documents, the proper legal way that, hey, look, I am appearing on another court that same day, same time. The same is here. So that motion to reschedule, this is while I was still in prison. I didn't want it to reschedule because it just keeps me longer in prison, but but it didn't matter because I have like 2 other cases still waiting over here. Even if this one was finished, I got 2 more over here with the same human trafficking. So he tells me after that, after he denies the motion to reset, my lawyer had legitimate, perfectly legal reasons why he denies it. He says to me, I have 30 minutes within which time to think about it. You can call your counsels, or you can get new counsel. He gave me the 3 choices. You can get your regular lawyer, or you can get a new lawyer, or you can take the public attorney's office service. Otherwise, you will be deemed to waive your right to cross-examine the private complainant. So he's saying either you get those 3, and if you don't, you have deemed, he's saying that I give up my right. You give your right to examine, which is a God-given right. You have the right to cross-examine your complainant. If you're being accused, he can't take it away. But this judge took it upon himself to say, I am denying your right to cross-examine. This case has been particularly has been unduly delayed with already about a couple of warnings to your regular counsel. So at 4:30, we'll call this case again. Do you understand that? I said, please, yes, Your Honor. So the judge says, so if this is still the same, So if your decision is still the same, you can't cross-examine the private complainant anymore. He said that. So the judge says, what's your decision? I said the same. My decision is I exercise my right to private counsel, and I'm not saying I don't like him. I don't like the public attorney's office. The court says, no, you don't know that you don't want him personally. You just don't want him to be your counselor. We don't take things here personally. I said, let me just ask the PAL. Here's it is. Let me just ask the PAL. So I have directed the public attorney's office for the past 2 orders to get ready for this case for the eventuality. Are you ready to cross-examine the witness? So this is what the judge said to the public attorney's office. Are you ready to cross the witness? Here's the public attorney's office saying, public attorney said, he says, also given the fact, Your Honor, that I just entered my appearance today, it would be best to reset the hearing, Your Honor, because he has no idea. He has never been in any of my cases or my trials. This is his first time ever hearing the case. So also given the fact that, Your Honor, that this is my life over here. I could spend the rest of my life here in prison for the next 100,000 years. And this judge just denied my right to my own private counsel, denied my right to my God-given right to cross my accuser, and giving it to the public attorney's office, which said, given the fact, Your Honor, that I just entered my appearance today, it would be wise to reset my hearing. And he says, the judge says, no, you were given instructions. So he said, okay, so that's why we had to motion to inhibit him. So the funny thing is that his resolution, he gave his resolution coming in, and this is probably the most important piece over here that you're gonna in his resolution. It says here, the court may tend to agree with her, the officer that was testifying him, and the actuations of the accused of himself with young girls of minor age, maintaining internet accounts with them, and even establishing beyond. However, until it reaches that point shown by concrete evidence, then only suspicion may be excited from one's mind. It must remember that suspicion, no matter how strong, must never sway judgment. Okay, so everybody, of course, online, on blogs and everything, suspicion, okay? Just like I always say, if you see a Mexican or a beaner or a wetback in East LA standing on a corner, so of course, 99 times out of 100, he's probably a drug dealer. Or if you see a black person in the corner of South Central, you assume, you're suspicious of him that because he's black, he's in the South Central, that he must be selling drugs also. Same thing over here. Just because I use the internet and I have association with these young girls, it doesn't automatically make me a human trafficker. It just means suspicion. It says here, only suspicion may be excited on. It must remember that suspicion, no matter how strong, must never sway judgment. Okay, so this is what is the heart of the matter over here, okay, because of why, right? And I told you many reasons why already is because of this reason. There are many reasons. Part of it is jealousy, and in this situation, part of it is also money. Okay, as you could see from here, from my BPI Express Gold MasterCard, from July 25 to August 5th, they used my credit card while it was in their custody. Here, I have the custody paperwork over here. I mean, I have all this paperwork. Oh, sorry. Where is my... well, anyway, it's under their custody. I have it somewhere in here. It's obviously, they took my money, my wallet in there, used up my credit cards in the tune of $500,000 pesos, or $10,000, I repeat. So that's one of the many reasons why jealousy and greed. Like I said, jealousy and greed, they're the roots of all evil here in the Philippines. And of course, there's no such thing as jealousy and greed over here because people are just acting of the moment. So this is the court's ruling, and let's get to the so over here, it says, his final words are, wherefore, in view of the foregoing, the demurrer to evidence has been filed by the accused is hereby granted, and this action hereby dismissed for insufficiency of evidence. I repeat, there is no evidence of human trafficking at all whatsoever. Demurrer. That's what we said. So what? We're not going to deny. We're not going to contest anything you say. Yes, I was just saying I was at that corner. Yes, I am this wetback beaner Mexican in East LA standing in the corner. So, but that you still have to find drugs on me if you want me to, and I have to be selling it to somebody. So that's why this case was because of mere suspicion alone. So all those people that are, you don't need suspicion, okay? Because that's not why. Where is the suspicion coming from? Just because a person is black in South Central in the corner doesn't mean that he is selling drugs. Okay, so we got that out of the way, and so now we get to the most important thing when it comes to rape. Okay, you got rape over here. Is the most damning evidence, of course, is after the case they do what's called a medical legal, and that's what shows you like a rape exam. All right, so that's pretty simple. So let's actually get to the actual. I have a copy of the medical legal report right here. So let's finally, the smoking gun, what all you've been waiting for. This is their main evidence, okay? Because you're talking about they're all sexually related: human trafficking, cybercrime, porn, child rape, child trafficking, child pornography, all of it, as you can see from over here, right? So we got human trafficking 9208, rape over here. So all this, so now we got to examine the rape itself. Okay, this is the most important part, because if you look over here, so this is in the Republic of the Philippines National Police Commission, Philippine National Police National Headquarters, Crime Laboratory, Medical Division in Camp Crame, Quezon City. Okay, so they took the girls to Camp Crame, Quezon City, for a medical legal report. Here we go. Finally, what everybody's been waiting for is the medical legal report. All right, so I crossed out the names to protect the innocent, especially me, since I have been accused of rape. Everybody says that I'm a rapist. Okay, and here is then let's take a look at the evidence. Because over here, you can't, I mean, not just over here, everywhere, you can't just accuse somebody of such a heinous crime without, you can't just say, oh, he raped me. We also need evidence. We can't just say, we can't just based on what a person says, because anybody can say anything over here, especially if you're going to be using the person's credit cards over here. If you look over here, we've got all this in Batangas. We got a South supermarket. Remember over here, look at the best part over here, this Rico store. This is a restaurant. This is a lechon restaurant. The guy spent over $3,000 in the restaurant alone. Just can you imagine how much lechon he bought? So that's a pretty good fiesta. But so over here, you can definitely say that you raped somebody, so you could steal somebody's money. Okay, and I have more documentation on that, especially my Bitcoin account, where my Bitcoins, not that it was where it was hacked into. So let's get into that another time. But let me show you. I think this has been important. I have been keeping it back for a while, but finally, let's get to the actual medical legal report. Now we're going to talk about the rape of the evidence. So I crossed out the name, but I kept the information that's going to be relevant. Okay, so here we go. So everybody knows like exactly what age we're talking about here. Age and sex, 15-year-old female. Okay, so here we go, 15-year-old female. Time of examination, 7:50 a.m. in the morning, July 21. So I was arrested. The entrapment was July 19th, 2 days later. This is 2 days, just 2 days alone that they started doing they did the exam, the rape exam, okay, because I've been accused of rape. So let's get to it. So the doctor examined the breasts. Okay, these are young, supple teenage breasts to get everybody all excited. So they're conical, no injuries. I repeat, He examined the breasts. No injuries, no lacerations, no bruises, no nothing. No injuries. Okay, next is body. So somebody was just raped, right? Rape, you're talking about violence. It's not a sexual act. It is a violent act. Body, no injuries. Breast, they're fine. The doctor must be enjoying it. He's a doctor, but he's still a man first, and he's going, this person has been raped. 2 days later, no injuries. Okay, so let's get to the actual next part. Hymen. Now, if you don't know what hymen means, that's when a girl hasn't had sex yet, and that's the skin inside her vagina. Let's examine the hymen. Notch. The hymen has a notch at the 5 o'clock position. Notch at the 5. And here it says, no signs of recent injuries. The hymen has a notch 2 days after where the rape, where they said that I raped her. There's a notch at the 5 o'clock position, but there are no signs, I repeat, no signs of any injuries other than this notch, okay? There's not a tear, it's not a penetration, it's just a freaking notch, okay? Her hymen has a freaking notch. So clearly this says, this girl is still a virgin. This girl that has accused me of not only human trafficking, not only of making cybercrime, porn with her, but she accused me of rape. And we already said why. Okay, here we go. Why? There's 10,000 reasons why. There's $10,000 reasons why. Okay, then why would you say, even though you weren't raped, you're still a virgin? Why would you accuse somebody of rape? Because of this. Okay, the police, cybercrime police, their job is, if you're somebody hacked into your credit card or used any electronic device, the cybercrime police is the one you reported to. Problem is, what happens if the cybercrime police themselves staged this rape, apparently with no evidence? And conclusion, there you go. This is a doctor that went to years and years of education, then years and years of training, gave its conclusion. No genital injuries at the time at examination. I repeat, no genital injuries at the time of examination. Remarks. Victim of sexual abuse and child pornography. Okay, that's the reason why. The reason why he's doing this medical legal exam is she's a victim of sexual abuse, rape, and child pornography. Now, and here we go. This is the police that's involved, and here's the doctor that's involved. Okay. So now there it is. There's your evidence right there. This is the Philippines. It's all about doing the time, and you don't have to do the crime at all. Why? Because the police need to have credit cards also. They're never going to get one. And there's a will, there's a way. Yes, nobody's ever going to give us one, but since we're the police, we can always take what we want. Okay, no one is going to give it to us. If you can't give it to us, then we'll take it. And we'll use any means. But this is a doctor. This person has went to years. And he also has his name on this. And this is a lot of people are looking at this. He can't say that, like, I can't forge a document over here, or I can't fabricate evidence that doesn't exist. I'm a doctor. It's clearly say she's either been raped or she's not. She's either a virgin or she's not. Okay, which is in contrast to someone, let's say Chichay. Okay, apparently, clearly, even though she's Muslim, on her wedding night, we all know that. Okay, now that we all know what happened there. Okay, there's no medical legal report to say that Chichay was not a virgin. But over here, we have damning black and white evidence. So all you people that are making your innuendos, your suspicions, you can all put them to rest. Okay, because I've known this girl. This is a girl that I have videos of where I was putting her through school for the last 2 years. This isn't somebody I just met on the internet on To Catch a Predator and I just met her. I've been doing videos with her for 2 years now. And for 2 years, she's a virgin. Now, I didn't know this. I actually didn't believe it. When I actually got a copy of this in my hand, I said, okay, I can breathe a little, but as you can see, there's still the rape. Okay, I'm fine, but there's still human trafficking, because you could still argument, well, if his intent was to sell her virginity. Well, intent is not a crime. Okay, I can intend to murder somebody. Like on the internet, everybody says, I'm gonna murder this, I'm gonna do that. But until a crime actually happens of rape, then it's just all fantasy, make believe. And for what? Here it is. Now, your next question is, wait a second, Babatoni, you were caught with 2 girls, not just 1 girl. Where's the other medical report? Good question. I asked the same question myself. You should be coming to that conclusion. There were 2 teenage girls there. Where's the other one? What's gonna shock you is the reason why here in this judicial affidavit. This is the statement they gave to the prosecutor's office to say, okay, based on your statement, this is, she says over here in this document, the reason why. And I'll get into that later in another video. But right now, I just want to let everybody just digest this, okay? Digest it for now, okay? Because everybody's always been, even I'm guilty of creating this kind of, I'm this sexual predator or this sexual god that I'm supposedly having sex with all these girls. And of course, that's just all part of the mythos. That's all part of the reputation that I am supposed to be this potent, this omnipotent person. So I have this image, just like Brain Dead has this image that he's, even though he's just, even though he likes young teen girls just the same, not that I'm judging him one way or another, but to say, and then he dumped his old one just for this new one. And then now he got married because he got her pregnant, which we all know what happens to all marriages. And also on top of that, okay, sorry about that. For some reason, this thing stopped recording because it ran out of space. So I had to clear space real quick. But that's pretty much it. Here you go. You got the medical legal report. Says that Hymen, notch, no injuries. So lo and behold, there is a young, beautiful girl at 15. Normally, pretty girls at 15 already are not virgins. So imagine, okay, 15, I've known her for 2 years already. At that age, this 13 to 15, that's when they start having sexual activities. So that's when they become very, very sexual active. But lo and behold, this is evidence because of I knew her, that I was the person that she knew. I was the man that she was interacting with the last 2 years. I have evidence over here that we were able to maintain her virginity those 2 years that I've known her, okay? It says there in their testimony, I've known them since 2016. I came out of retirement 2015. I met these girls in 2016, and this is 2018. So for those 2 years that she was, not only is she a virgin, she stayed a virgin because of me. All right. Now this is evidence. I knew her. She maintained her virginity. Now here's the funny part. Now that I went to prison this was 3 years ago. So do the math. 15, 3 years ago. Guess what she is now? 18. She's overage now. And the biggest problem is when I saw her in one of the court appearances, she has the biggest, gnarliest neck tattoo on her. So that means that she's also a prostitute also. Not only that was only a year later when I went into prison. So after I went into prison, 1 year later, when she was 16, 17, she became not only a prostitute, but she also became a child prostitute. And what is evidence? Why can't you can't say that? You can't be saying the evidence that a person is a prostitute. What's your evidence? Evidence clearly, number one, I'm gone in their life, so I'm not there to protect them anymore. And number two, she's got the biggest tattoo on her breast and on her neck. I assume it goes all the way down to her breastises. So any girl that has neck tattoos or breast tattoos, automatically here in the Philippines, and she's poor, and I'm not in her life anymore, not supporting her during this pandemic. How is she going to support herself? So she's a child prostitute also. So for all these people that are judging me, okay, because a real judge already said that I'm innocent. For all the people, you have to understand, you have to know what the reality here is in the Philippines. These girls will become prostitutes themselves, especially in this pandemic, because of the left to their own devices. Okay, human trafficking is gonna happen to them. Their virginity is gonna be lost. It's gonna be gone if you don't intervene. Okay, and this is evidence of what I'm saying. What the hell is gonna happen to all these beautiful girls over here if you don't do anything except watch and sit there and make accusations? Beautiful things like this, beautiful girls like this that are virgins. A year later, just within 1 year, there's this big ass tattoo on her boobs, on her neck, and on her boobs that you could see it coming out of her regular t-shirt. It's not a neckline, dropping neckline t-shirt. It's a regular whatever she was wearing, and you could see on her neck clearly. And if you know her identity and if you know her name, you could see pictures of it all over her Facebook. That you don't have to. What is your evidence that she's a prostitute? She's a child prostitute. I had nothing to do with it. As you could see, while I was with her, she's a virgin. Now, this is the hardest part for me. I was shocked. I almost fell off my prison, my bunk when I saw this because I couldn't believe it. So the years she is actually a virgin. She kept telling me she's a virgin, and of course, I didn't believe it because, to be frank, that's what she was selling it to me, and she was selling it to me. But the point I'm saying is, I'm not gonna buy something that I don't believe. So it was a discussion, like I said. But as you could see, this is how how you could actually have interact with a virgin over here. So this is the virgin here in the Philippines. Why? Because the medical legal officer said, Dr. Palmero, MD, said, yep, she's a virgin. There's no injuries to her hymen. There you go. So I'm going to finish this off right here. I will continue the judicial affidavit afterwards. Why the other one wasn't examined. There's when you're building when your whole case, everything is built on a lie just to steal money. There's gonna be wild stories that then you can make up any story that you want. So and here's the reason. This is the affidavit that tells you, okay, why didn't you get a rape exam also? They have two things that they said. Why she's a virgin still, and why the prosecution decided to continue. Okay, the prosecution looked at this, right? They looked at we have no evidence of rape. But in their affidavit, they still said they're raped, and they have an explanation to why she was still a virgin. Two things: why her medical legal says she's a virgin, but she was still raped anyway, and why the other teenage girl did not get her vagina examined by a strange doctor. Those two reasons are actually here in the official affidavit, and I will get to it to another video. I know, we want to know why. Well, like I said, stay tuned, and we will be diving into this document. But next is, after I wanted to get this evidence out of the way. I got the credit card out of the way. I got the demurrer. I got one of the cases. We still have two other pending cases that are human trafficking, but they didn't have rape. But this one did, and this is the reason why. And this is the reason why. One of the reasons why the case was dismissed, especially against rape. And this is the reason why. We'll get into this judicial affidavit. If you're a prosecution, why would you charge somebody of rape even though there's no evidence of it? And this is the reason why I go, okay, well, this is what he did to explain this. And what that is, you're going to have This is the Philippines. So you're going to have to wait, and I will show you in black and white. It's actually in Tagalog, but I'll translate it. And if you don't believe me, you can use Google Translate. And as a preview, what I'm going to be doing is somebody has already said that they want that I should do a reaction video. And the next one is I'm actually going to do this one. This is I looked up a Bebot only search, and this is one of the videos that came up. Okay, this one, it says Bebots and the expat community. I can only find this one and another one. So if anybody has links, or of course I can't find the Ned one, the brain dead one. I really wanted to do a reaction video on that one, but I will do a reaction video. I don't know when, because but here's a reaction video. I haven't watched it. I've read the comments and I replied to it a while back, but this one I didn't want to watch it because I wanted to respond to it spontaneously. So here's somebody doing a video of my arrest. Now these are supposedly bloggers of the Philippines. They're supposed to have experience, and if you're an expert on the Philippines, or you have knowledge, or you have experience that you think that you can talk about, I always say, if you don't know what you're talking about, then keep your mouth shut. And these vloggers, including this guy over here, and especially Brain Dead, he even wrote a book about the Philippines. And if you have experience, then you should know better. That never trust or take without taking to a grain of salt what the police say, okay? Because you should know better about anybody says here in the Philippines, especially when somebody like me, I've been vlogging, like I said before, everybody was still in diapers, okay? Well, everybody was still with their hiding under their mommy's skirt. I mean, I'm talking about since 2008. When I moved here in 2009, when I started vlogging about the Bebots only, you're talking about over a decade of vlogging already. So I have the most knowledge, the most experiences. I'm not saying I have the most expertise, because there's still a lot about the Philippines that I haven't been to, but I am an expert when it comes to my own personal experiences, and I have the most experience out of anybody here in this country, especially this guy, who should know, and just like Brain Dead, should know better than to make wild accusations. And this is the reason why. So I'm going to do a reaction video, and the reason why I wanted to get this out first, because this is the most important piece of evidence, other than the fact that I'm innocent, but the fact that they need that to clear my name, that she was a virgin when I was with her. And then only within a year after, she became a child prostitute afterward. And underage prostitution over here is so common, especially. So now, is everybody happy that if left to their own devices, that's what they become, prostitutes. And in this one, she wasn't a child prostitute. She wasn't a virgin, because we were taking care of her. Our community was taking care of her. But thanks to the police, and if you don't do anything and just watch, then they're going to have tattoos. And once they have tattoos, that is clearly the damning evidence, especially breast tattoos. I repeat, I'm not making this up. You can look at her, and if she's just wearing a regular shirt, if you see a big ass tattoo on her neck going down to her breast, it means she's a child prostitute. And where did that money came from? So that was 3 years ago. And now she's overage. If that's what you actually wanted, now that you have access to her, now that she's a prostitute, having sex with strange men in exchange for money. And what did they do? What is the first thing that they do when they have, it's like their graduation ceremony or graduation tradition. The first thing they do with the money once they have sex with a stranger is go get the ugliest, nastiest, big ass breast tattoo. But over here, 3 years ago, 2 days after I was arrested, her breast was conical with no injuries, no tattoos. Her body had no injuries, and her hymen was intact with no injuries, meaning she was a virgin, which is completely opposite from Chichay. And one comment, I'll just say one last thing when it comes to the Chichay comments. She made this comment which was deleted. She made the comment and she deleted it, or somebody deleted it. And she said the reason why that she got pregnant was they were already engaged. She says, we were already engaged before she found out she was pregnant. I mean, a girl knows when she's pregnant right away, and then she says that she was engaged before she found out. So that's where it gets kind of cloudy. That's where it kind of gets gray. The argument, the discussion, or the response to that is, the proper response to that is, let me understand this. You're saying that you were already engaged to get married But and how long is the engagement? You're saying that you're already going to be married a few months later. The point I'm saying is, if you're already engaged, why could you just wait? You waited your whole life. You're talking about what is it, like 17, 18 years to have sex, and you just couldn't wait a few months and to get married, just like your tradition, just like if you're a traditional, not only a traditional Muslim Filipina, but a traditional Filipina, if you're already engaged to get married, why couldn't you just wait a few months since you waited years, your whole life? And this is the person that's supposed to be the man of your dreams, the one that's you're gonna have this baby. You couldn't wait a few months just to be a virgin your waiting night, your wedding night. So this is where the argument kind of falls apart, that she says we already know. So she's not going to really win this argument. I mean, if you're saying that you couldn't wait until your wedding night to be a virgin, like this person who's actually a virgin, then that means we have a term over here and it's called makate. Not Makati, but makate. Makate means itchy. Specifically, what's itchy? She's got an itchy crotch. And the problem is, so we've got this smoking cancer. She just opened her legs up for this foreigner. Obviously, he's got no personality. He looks like you know that guy from Magic Mountain, the dancing. There's this old Magic Mountain commercial before I came to America where maybe I'll put the link of the video or something like that. Where's this old guy dancing in a Magic Mountain commercial? That's what he reminds me of. So that's his looks, and of course, don't even get me started on his personality. And then the only thing he's got money to buy a very expensive SUV. So, of course, if she's picked up at the bar, that's just the obvious reasons why. Okay, so of course, this is the Philippines. We got to save face. But I just wanted to show you evidence. There are virgins here, and then there are not. And if you don't take care of them, then I was taking care of them, this is what we are. This is where everybody's saying, oh, look at all this sex that's going on. Yes, that's probably just an image that I'm portraying. But over here, clearly it says we're not. And all those rape accusations, then why did it continue? The reasons why are still here. Anyway, sorry this has gone long enough. At least you got the evidence itself. Any questions, comments, they're more than welcome. Like I said, I'm going to be very busy because please excuse me. I already did the Honda videos, by the way. It's just editing them together, putting them up. So the police didn't kill me, or there was nobody waiting, no police tandem scooters waiting for them to murder me at the Honda dealership after I announced it. So fortunately, that's good. I'm still alive. But I might not be able because we're going to be going back to exercising with Hero now that he's done with his first year at his new school. I might not be blogging as much, but I wanted to give you guys something good to think about while you wait for the next vlog. Anyway, questions, comments, reactions are always welcome. We'll talk about this in the next live stream. This is Bev. It's only. Thanks for watching.